Hi, this is Dave Specter in Chicago's Austin neighborhood at Alice's Soul Food Restaurant, where we're thrilled to be having lunch today with Otis Clay. Otis, great to have you here, man.
Good to be here.
Thanks, man. Can you talk about your early days in gospel? And I heard you started singing when you were 4?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, coming from a big family, typical black culture, you going to church.
Right, in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Waxhaw?
Waxhaw, yeah.
Waxhaw, yeah.
But then, you know, you bring that on, they brought that on into the north, you know. When they left those places, they came, and that's where all this stuff really started happening once that same culture and what have you came up above the Mason-Dixon line, you know. So you still going to church, you know. After my mother died, I came to live with my uncle and aunt, you know. So, hey, he didn't wait for Sunday. We went to prayer meeting on Wednesday night. He said, "You join the church right away." You know, that was the thing. Cause hey, you had to do it.
Yeah. And did you have dreams of taking your music outside the church at that point? No.
I never. But I started so young. You know, at 12, I went outside the family. At 12, you know, I mean, up until that point, it was always a family type situation. But at 12, then I went with one of the most popular groups in Muncie, Indiana at that time. You know? So I was doing it all my life, you know.
Yeah. So you had moved from Mississippi to Indiana?
Yeah.
And then
a place called Muncie.
Sure.
And then, so we were doing that.
Yeah. And then what brought you to Chicago?
Family. You know, my maternal grandfather, 2 uncles. But there's always friends and family.
Sure.
You know, I mean, when I came to Chicago, it was still like you seeing all the folks that had left home came here to Chicago.
Yeah. So you saw quite a difference from your days at Wonderful, then moving to Muscle Shoals with Cotillion, and then moving to High.
Yeah.
In terms of the musicians from Chicago, say, to Memphis, what were the differences like, if any?
It was a whole nother thing. You know, because in Chicago, and I suppose in most of the northern cities, you know, now, Wonderful, you had those company studios, like especially the companies that had their own studios. That was a whole nother thing. You know, like Wonderful had his own studio.
Where was it at?
1827 South Michigan.
Right near Chess.
Upstairs, huh?
Not too far from Chess.
No, right down. Right down the
Record
street.
Road.
United Distributors, who was Ernie Lena, George's brother, had the distributor, and who was doing a lot of the Motown distribution at that time. He had the Gordy label, Tamla, and all those labels. You know? So it was, man.
Yeah.
Every record company you could probably come up with was right in that stretch there. That's what it
VJ.
If you want to say the record road thing came from. Yeah.
And I heard Wonderful was kind of like almost like a family of musicians, and
it was very common doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, you had all these people,
right?
All these characters.
Yeah.
That you could just. I mean, they always drop by, or you walk out on the street. They out there somewhere going to and fro. Right. So it was quite a time. Yeah.
So who were some of your inspirations in Chicago and or nationally that you were listening to?
Everybody was alive.
Yeah.
Everybody was pretty much at their peak.
Right.
I was a big fan of the Dixie Hummingbirds. I love James Walker and Ira Tucker.
Okay.
You know, and I just, whenever, you know, the few times that I would see them, man, it was like a kid, man, because I was so into that, you know, because there was Sam Soulstar, you know.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and it was so great when you would be around them, you know, no ego.
Where would you see them? In churches? Or in
or
theaters?
High School.
DuSable High School.
Yeah, that's where most of the gospel was done in Chicago. I mean, when you were really doing the name, the traveling groups and things.
Okay.
Like that.
They would come and perform at the high school?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And the last time I saw Sam was at the Apollo in New York. I was with the Nightingales at that time.
Yeah.
Because when you're at the Apollo, it seems like everybody in town shows up at some point or another, and whether it's gospel or secular, because everybody was tuned into everybody.
So the Sensational Nightingales you were on a bill with Sam Cooke?
We were at the Apollo, and Sam was doing the Cobra.
Okay, sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So Sam, like that day, he came down to the Apollo, which was, I don't care who it was or whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
They would always come to the Apollo and see who was playing at the Apollo.
Got it.
We were there with Sissy Houston's inspiration.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of, Whitney was she probably a baby at that time.
Yeah. I just saw a YouTube clip of you with the Sensational Nightingales.
Yeah.
Probably from what?
1964.
64,
yeah. 1964, man, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And talk about your relationship with Pops and the Staple Singers.
Pop.
Because I know when I see your show, you almost always bring him up and pay tribute to him with Respect Yourself. And
We go way back. Even when I was with the Nightingales, and I had the unique privilege of attending those Christmas dinners at the Staples with them.
Yeah.
That was
Where do they have those?
at their house.
At their house.
Yeah. But Mom, man, such a great cook.
Yeah.
And, everybody would go to the Staples house. In fact, it was Ray Charles who wanted to, those potato pies that Mom, who he wanted to franchise.
So you sometimes would have Christmas with Ray Charles and the Staple Singers?
Well, everybody showed up.
Yeah, wow.
And on a given day, I would pick up my phone and it was Pop.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, we just talk.
Yeah.
We just talk.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, believe it or not, he called me for information. I never really had that super contract. I was always out there on the perimeter. So I was known as the survivor. And everybody that survived would sometimes call and say, tell me something. How do you do this or that?
Yeah.
I see. I was going to Japan.
Yeah.
With great success.
Yeah.
So that kind of opened the door for, okay, what is the information on that? Yeah.
Does that look familiar?
Yeah, that's very familiar.
Soul Man Live in Japan. Yeah, that's one of the first records I ever had by you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
How did you start going to Japan? When did you first go there?
1978. OV got sick or something like that.
O.V. Wright.
Yeah. So I went.
You went to this place, yeah.
And although I had a lot of popularity there that I wasn't aware of,
I believe it.
when I got there, man, they had all the wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like you're filling in, but then again, not,
Right.
sure, well qualified to do it in terms of popularity.
Yeah.
But then once we got there, I always had a band, and my band was well rehearsed. Not that we didn't have to get ready to do that. We were just, it was just a matter of saying, okay, hey, let's go. We're going to Japan. Well, because of our success there, they said, you really don't go for maybe about once. And the novelty wears off.
Yeah.
So here I am in 1978. And the next year, 1979, after we came back, and we went into the vault at Wonderful Records and released Gotta Find a Way beginning.
Yeah.
That's when they released all that stuff on Wonderful Records. So I was back in 1979. You know, they still saying like, okay, that's kind of unusual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was back again in 1982 because Victor, JVC Victor, that's the label. They heard that I had an album, you know, and so that was when the Only Way Is Up album, that was released in Japan.
Okay.
You know, that was 82.
Uh-huh.
You know, still unusual. Okay, so now 83. I said, well, my band really went up to par in 1982 when I went over there. You know, so I said, if they want me back again, I better come in strong. And that's when I called all the guys at High Rhythm and said, hey, we're going to Japan.
Yeah.
And that's when we cut.
Right.
This album.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know you also brought some Chicago guys, Chicago horns.
Well, that was always part of my regular band.
Right.
Yeah. You know, brought those guys in, which was on the 78. That was the same horn section.
Okay.
That was on the 78.
Okay. Hank Ford, Bill McFarlane, Kenny Anderson.
And Paul Howard.
And Paul Howard, okay.
Yeah. That was the lineup, horn section.
Yep.
You know, Tony Coleman, who was with the who went with BB for years.
Okay.
But BB took my rhythm section from that 1978 tour.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was a hot band. I don't know if you're familiar with the 78 album or not. But,
that's hard to find.
Yeah. Well, I'll tighten you up on that. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
But it was that was the band.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And we came home because during that time the tour would always come like around April. This time of the year we would go to Japan. And they had this big blues tour here in America with B.B. King, Bobby Bland, Albert King, you know.
Wow. And you were part of it?
I was part of that.
Wow.
That tour.
Yeah.
I had 5 pieces. But my 5 pieces, man.
Yeah.
And that's when B.B. took the rhythm section.
I remember seeing you, I believe with Chris Johnson?
Yeah.
Great guitar player.
Yeah, Chris, man. Well, see, I watched him as he grew up, you know.
Yeah.
Chris and Out of Gospel and the whole shot.
Yeah.
Chris probably started playing with me around 17 or something like that. Yeah.
And speaking of famous sidemen that played with you, Daryl Jones and the Rolling Stones was in your band for quite a while.
His father, he was very young. You know, his father used to bring him to the rehearsal.
Really?
You know. And Daryl, you know, I was always known to have a pretty wild bunch.
Yeah.
They were great players.
Yeah.
But they was a bit wild too, you know.
Yeah.
And good thing his father was bringing him to the rehearsal, you know. But, you know, I think his mother brought him to the first rehearsal, you know.
Yeah.
And he and I was talking about that not long ago. You know, he said how his mother was like, you didn't remember anything.
One of the things I love about you, Otis, is that you're classified and considered a soul singer, a soul legend, but there's still a really strong connection to the blues.
I started at blues headquarters on the west side, which is called Walton's Corner.
Walton's Corner?
Yeah. I got to get you some pictures of, I'm just going through some pictures the other day of Ray Tyrone Davis and Freddie King.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
Of course, Freddie was doing it at that time because, you know, at one time Tyrone Davis was Freddie's valet.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I'd heard that.
You know? So, right there, Roosevelt and Washington.
So that was one of the hot clubs on the west side?
You know, it was blues.
Yeah.
And there was Curly's on Madison and Holman.
Okay.
Which Otis Rush was like the house band there.
Okay.
And that's where you would see Sonny Boy Williamson. First time I saw John Lee Hooker was at Curly.
Wow.
You know, First time I met little Johnny Taylor at
Yeah.
Curly's. You know, he had part-time love at that time.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So, you know, the blues thing is the first live show I ever saw was Muddy Waters. I was in Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Really?
You know,
Was that back?
little boy. You know,
Really?
I would say I was probably 7 or 8 years old.
Really? Give us like a brief time capsule of like recording in Chicago and then going to Muscle Shoals and then going to High. Were there big differences in the studios and the musicians and the production?
Well, as you know, probably Terry Manning gave me the best story I heard, because you know Terry had the old Steve Cropper studio, and that's where I cut I'll Treat You Right.
Okay.
I was around there at that time, and I cut I'll Treat You Right at Terry's studio. We always, okay, I'm gonna give out some secrets, because my concern is always the drum. If I can get the drum, I can get the session.
Okay.
You understand? Because when you hear that stuff that was coming out of Memphis, even Motown, it was always sound. You know, people don't, you know, nobody's into that now with the cutting stuff, but it was always the sound. And you had to get the drum. Even when I'm mixing, the first thing when I'm mixing the drum. Y'all got all my secrets, man. You know, but that was and Terry, we were talking one day, and being an old Stax engineer, and what have you. So he said, you know how I got into this stuff? He said, what? He had bought a car, and it's a new car, but he took it to the dealer, something they were doing to it. And he said when the guy brought his car back to him, he had took all the highs off. You know what I mean? Because he was listening to the radio.
Yeah.
You know, and the guy had took all the highs off.
Off his car stereo?
Yeah. So all he was hearing, he said when he got in the car, all he heard was this bass. You know, and he said like, whoa. You understand? The way the guy had, we're talking about coming into the sound now.
Yeah.
Because once you get the drum, then you gotta go to once you get the bass or the drum, then you're gonna go to the bass. Okay. You know, and these are the things that these guys, these are the things that these guys was high on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you went into Stax, High, you know what I mean? That Otis Redding thing, you know, always that drive. You know? So these are the things that was happening in the South.
Was Trying to Live My Life Without You recorded in Memphis?
Oh yeah.
Willie Mitchell produced that.
Yeah.
And I read an interview where you were talking to, was it George Jackson that wrote it? And he was giving you the lyrics over the phone.
I had been in the studio all day, going into the night, and I left for the day. You know, and I had gone back to the hotel, and I don't know, I fell asleep at some point, you know, and the phone woke me up. It was Willie Mitchell. He said, "Oh, you sleep?" I said, "Oh, no. What's happening?" You know, when somebody like that call you, man, you never sleep. You know?
Right.
Now, Willie Mitchell, I guess the cup was bigger than this. A big yellow plastic cup that he would have with him. George Jackson continuously. I don't mean no break. George always had a beer can. You understand? George drinking a beer. So you can imagine where it was by that time of night.
Okay.
Willie said, Otis, he said, that goddamn George Jackson wrote a hit record, man. And I said, yeah? He said, yeah. You all right? I said, yeah, I'm okay. He said, I'm getting played. So now, I I'm at the hotel, but I know how they're doing this. So Willie Mitchell's in the control room.
Yeah.
George is out in the studio. So he said, George, sing the record for Otis, you know. And George, like I say, he hitting that can all day, so yeah. And George was at the piano, so he says, how you smoke? So that's how we got the intro. That's where the intro came from.
And how long did it take before that record took off?
Oh, right away.
Right away?
Yeah.
There's a clip of you on Soul Train doing it.
Yeah.
1973?
1972, yeah.
72.
Yeah.
How many times were you on Soul Train?
I did Soul Train about 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
I know 2.
Was it still in Chicago, or did it move out to LA at that time?
Oh no, it was in LA.
In LA.
But now I did it many times when it was local.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you
Really?
know, the guys, you know, Don was on Channel 26,
Right.
UHF station.
Yeah.
You know, so hey, nobody took a UHF station serious.
You had to have the right antenna.
Yeah, you know, so cats, oh man, here comes Don, man. Don wanted us to do a show, you know, man. You know, and they weren't that excited about that, but everybody, you know,
Yeah.
Don was done, you know, so they said, okay, man, we'll do it. But it was like, man, we did it many times in Chicago, you know.
This has been great, Otis.
Hey, man.
Thank you, man. We could go on for hours.
Hey, man.
But when I leave